Alright, so it is kind of late, but I thought I would record the process of me trying to figure out how to sell synthetic data sets online. Right now, I am having Cursor generate a new version of, or basically a guide on how to make synthetic data. Um, I'm basically having it tell me how to clone this project. So I think that the next use case that I'm gonna focus on is like financial advising data sets, because right now me and my grandma need to eat. So that's the next thing that I'm gonna probably work on, this synthetic data process. I right now I'm generating another even larger data set of the maternal health data set, but this one's going to be a premium data set because I figured out that this data set generation thing might not be um, something I want to do for free. Sorry, there's a fucking mouse in here. Um, anyway, so yeah, right now Cursor is generating a very, very long guide on basically how to recreate or to create a financial advising guide. But anyway, I thought I'd record me having a conversation with ChatGPT about career planning. Alright, so this is the ChatGPT page that I have for career planning. And I'm going to go into voice mode and just have a conversation with ChatGPT about doing this data brokerage thing that I've come up with. I'll explain a little bit more about that. So what I'm trying to do as sort of like a research consultant, I'm trying to break into like research consulting, and one of the ways that I'm trying to do that right now is I've opened up a freelancing page, but as well I'm trying to start generating like large data sets that can be used for the fine-tuning of LLMs. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to work on that for the next week or so. I'm going to try and incorporate my grandma's boys lab little thing I got going here and try and start a legitimate company out of it. So just a sole proprietorship, nothing that requires too much paperwork. Yeah, but I want to figure out other use cases, and then I'm just going to generate a couple of different ways that I can generate large data sets. Wow. Okay, so I'm just watching Cursor's output right now. Anyway, I'll start a voice chat with ChatGPT. Hi, I'm interested in selling online large data sets for large language model training and fine tuning, and I was wondering if you could tell me where to look online for places where I could potentially sell these data sets.
Absolutely. There are a few platforms that cater specifically to selling data sets for AI and machine learning. For example, you can look into platforms like Kaggle, which allows you to host and share data sets and sometimes even monetize them. Another one is HugginFace, which has a data hub where you can share and potentially monetize data sets as well. There's also Datastock and AlgoSeek, which are more specialized in financial and other niche data sets. And if you're looking for something a bit more bespoke, you could consider listing your data sets on platforms like Upwork or Fiverr, where companies or individuals might be looking for specific data for their projects. Lots of options out there.
I didn't know that you could monetize data sets through HugginFace. I actually have a couple of data sets up on HugginFace, but I didn't think that that was a legitimate way. So how do data sets get monetized on HugginFace?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. On Hugging Face, you can share your datasets publicly, but if you want to monetize them, you can either set up a subscription model or offer premium access to certain datasets. Companies and researchers often look for high quality, well curated datasets. So if you can position yours as unique or particularly valuable, you can definitely attract buyers or subscribers.
Okay, that's very interesting. Um, yeah, give me a second. I'm looking into monetizing data sets right now. I'm looking up some internet results. So basically, would I just make like my dataset repo private and then like monetize the access to that?
That's definitely one way to do it. You can keep your dataset private and then offer access to those who subscribe or purchase it. Yeah, I'd also set up a tiered access model where some parts of the dataset are public and then more extensive or detailed parts are behind a paywall. It's all about how you package and present your data to make it valuable for potential buyers.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need help with anything else, just let me know. I'm always here to help.
Alright, so I found this video on YouTube when I searched how to monetize different AI models and datasets, so I'm going to watch through this really quick.
Like OpenAI and Claude, and there are the open source models that are free, like Llama, for example. But I see a gap in between. Many devs could potentially be selling access to their models or their datasets, and today I'm going to show you all an easy way to do so. Now, I've been selling access to models of Trellis Research and also datasets for the last 3 months. I started off just by paywalling these and having some simple payment links. Then, in the background, when somebody would pay, I'd give the buyers access within 24 hours. Over time, I've started to automate that process, and now I've made that into a platform that anybody can use to automate the sale of their models or their datasets. Here's a quick example of the flow that we're going to try and achieve. First of all, we'll have some kind of model. Trellis, for example, has this Yi35B Lamified Chat super fine-tuned model for function calling, and you can see that it is gated. So people normally don't have access to this except if they purchase on this button here. Now they're brought to a Stripe payment link where they enter their email. Importantly, they enter in their HugginFace username. And so when they check out, I've automated a flow that will give them automated access once they come back to this repo landing page. There are a few things going on underneath the hood, but I've tried to simplify it with this new website, Trellis Mart. It's available already at mart.trellis.com. And I'm going to take you all the way through the flow for getting set up with Trellis Mart, which will allow you to automatically paywall your models and datasets. And if you're here for the first time, you want to go to something populated or sell access to, I'm going to click Save. Up. That should earlier. The price for now, I'll just put in as $99. It's a dataset, so I'll select dataset for the image here. Dataset card. You can copy we'll put in their details and we can check. In addition to making it automatically in the marketplace, when I go to the commercially licensed.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I didn't record this whole process since I had to enter some personal information, but essentially I have figured out that you can use this site called a Trellis, or no, not a Trellis, Trellis Marketplace to sell datasets directly from HugginFace. So you can like gate repo access and have people pay money to get access to datasets. So that's what I've done here. Okay, so where did I leave off? So I started having VS Code come up with plans to generate even more synthetic datasets. And I'm just going to do that. I actually came up with an idea for a medical AI project while I was in the shower. So I'll probably make another video on that. I won't clog up this one with all that stuff. But I've just been coming up with some interesting data ideas. Basically the gist of this. I need to watch the rest of this video, so I guess I can do that with an audience. Alright, so I have waited for Cursor to generate the guide on making financial data sets. I'm going to see what other valuable data sets I can try and make. And I'm going to have a conversation with ChatGPT about that. I'm going to enable its internet search tool so it can give me better responses. Hi. I would like for you to generate the most a list of the most high value data sets that I could generate synthetically. They have to be conversational data sets for LLM fine-tuning and training. Size of the data set doesn't matter. Preferably it would be a one-to-one conversation. Conversations between multiple people are possible, but would be a little bit more difficult.
Sure. When it comes to high-value synthetic conversational data sets for training language models, there are a few interesting themes and scenarios that can really stand out. For example, one idea is customer service scenarios. You can create data sets where there's a customer and a support agent having detailed, realistic conversations. Another one are technical support conversations, which can include more complex problem-solving dialogues. Educational tutoring is also a great one, where you have a tutor and a student discussing different topics. Role-playing scenarios can be fun and engaging, where you simulate different real-life situations like negotiations or interviews. And then there's also creative storytelling, where multiple people or characters build a story together. All of these can be really valuable for fine-tuning language models in different contexts.
Okay, so I already have a system planned out for financial data sets. What would be the next one? I'm trying to generate 3 data sets before I go to sleep. So I have my maternal health one, this financial data set, and then maybe one more.
Got it. So if you already have a maternal health data set and a financial data set in the works, another great one could be a legal or regulatory compliance data set. These can be really valuable for training models that help with understanding legal language, compliance issues, or even automating some legal workflows. Another option could be customer feedback or review data sets, which are great for models that focus on sentiment analysis or customer experience improvements. Both of those could be really interesting and valuable additions to your collection.
I feel like the first regulatory and compliance data set thing that you mentioned would require me to use RAG, and I don't feel like building a RAG system for this quite yet. So could you maybe come up with a different recommendation?
Absolutely, no worries. Another great option could be creating a healthcare dialogue data set, maybe focusing on doctor-patient conversations for general diagnosis or telemedicine scenarios. That kind of data set is super valuable for healthcare applications and doesn't require setting up a retrieval augmented generation system. Another idea could be a travel and tourism conversational data set, where you simulate conversations between travelers and travel agents, which could be really fun and engaging. Both of these should be a bit more straightforward and still quite valuable.
Okay, so I really like those last 2 ideas, the travel agent one and the like general intake doctor-patient interviews. So I think I'll move forward with those 2. I'm gonna go back to Cursor and ask it to do that. Okay, so I'm back in Cursor and I just asked it to generate 2 more guides so that I can maybe make some of these projects tonight. Or tomorrow. I'm gonna take a shower. I smell bad. Okay, I'm gonna finish watching this guy's video. I made the account and everything like you mentioned.
Create product. You can optionally add an image here, $9,
Okay.
and connect a Stripe account. This is how I'll get paid out. You'll need to put in source. It's a data set, so I'll select data sets here. And now we need to put in the repository URL. Here we are on the sample dataset page. I'm going to copy the URL here. Make sure to get in the HTTPS, which will appear on the Stripe image here. And now that the product is what allows me to gate it. So let's go over to the repo here. We can create a dataset card. Often you might have a dataset card already. If you don't, if you do, you just have to add this line here into the header.
Okay.
This will be here. My dataset readme. And now that should gate the repository with...
Okay, cool. So basically I have to gate the repo and make sure that people have to go through the Stripe account to be able to access these data sets. Well, alright. Kind of want to get moving on to my medical AI project, to be honest, so I'm a little excited for that and don't really want to make a thorough video or an ending to this video. I'm still waiting for the synthetic data set to generate, but yeah, this was just a little quick update. Maybe I'll have another video out by tomorrow morning about this medical AI idea that I have, but I don't want to talk about that too much here. Anyway, goodbye.